So I've made a few videos already since I got this WR250R from Cycle Cruiser, and I ultimately ended up with two WR250Rs, and at the present timing I'm leaving Cycle Cruiser's WR250R, my black WR250R, in enduro trim. I think it's a perfect setup for trail because it's got the DID style rims. It's also got Dunlop D606s, which is, in my opinion, feels great on the dirt. And it's also got a stock engine, uncorked nonetheless, but it's got pretty decent smoothness to it. No vibes with the FMF pipe and the header with the fuel injector kind of box. It seems to be optimally tuned for the most amount of power you're going to get on a 250. So for that reason, that's why I left Cycle Cruisers basically untouched until now. My legacy, or my original WR250R, I affectionately call my legacy WR250R, with an Athena big bore kit, also uncorked, with FMF header and pipe, and fuel injector aftermarket tuner. I've equipped that bike with the Warp 9 Supermoto wheel set, and that seems to be a perfect combination for the street. You know, it saves me time swapping out wheel sets on the same bike, and really I have two of the same bikes with two different wheel sets, and I'm very happy with that, especially during the COVID. Nobody's going to works or events, and the roads are pretty much clear, and I've been taking that WR250R Supermoto a lot lately. You know, previously I took my Supermoto out and I did some acceleration tests using an app and got some 0 to 60 runs at my favorite spot. Today I figured I'd take my Enduro WR250R, formerly Cycle Cruises 3.0 version, the black version, and then was hoping to do the same tests. So let's get this underway. One thing I do notice about switching from my Supermoto with the Athena big bore kit to my WR Enduro, it has a stock engine, is, well, number one, the stock engine is definitely a lot smoother than an engine with the Athena big bore kit. I mean, the heavier piston just makes my Supermoto a bit more vibey. You could feel it in the handlebars, in the grips, in the foot pegs, and you probably could hear it audibly on the recordings too. But this WR, smooth as butter, man. So I configured this race timer a little differently. Before I was measuring quarter mile and 0 to 60. I thought it'd be interesting just to measure 0 to 30 and 0 to 60 acceleration using the app now. So I'm going to take us, I don't know, maybe about 5 or 6 runs here on my favorite straightaway, and just try and record them. So here we go. Here we go. Here are the results. When I tested my legacy WR250R 0 to 60 with the Warp 9 Supermoto wheels, uncorked with the Athena big bore kit, I got 6 timings. Average of those timings was 9.6 seconds. And when I tested Cycle Cruise's WR250R 0 to 60 with the DID dirt wheel setup and also the stock uncorked engine, I also got 6 timings, and the average of those was 8.6 seconds, almost a full second faster. So legit, on paper, Cycle Cruise's WR250R is faster than my legacy WR250R in Supermoto trim with the Athena big bore kit. I would have thought my legacy WR250R would have been faster. All right, there's my legacy WR250R Supermoto, the slower of the WR250Rs that I own. You can't dispute the evidence, but given the test that I just did, Cycle Cruise's WR250R is definitely faster, at least by a second, which is, I'm not going to say suspect, but kind of interesting, because my legacy WR250R definitely has the Athena big bore kit, and you would think more cc's, better acceleration. That is not the case, at least in my case. Also, my Supermoto has 49 tooth sprockets in the rear, more than 47 tooth sprockets that Cycle Cruise's bike has. And you would think, you know, more teeth, more torque, quicker off the line, and that would be a factor in making the legacy Supermoto a bit quicker. But that's not the case. Third, and I don't know how much of a difference this really makes, but the Warp 9 17-inch Supermoto wheels on my Supermoto, right? Less circumference, less rotational force. In my mind, I think that would have helped in making it quicker, but it doesn't seem like that's the case either. So anyways, I'm not going to argue with the facts. This doesn't mean that the Athena big bore kit is worthless. It just means my older WR250R legacy Supermoto is slower than my newer 2014 WR250R that has been dynoed and tuned. That's all that means. Wow, that's a nice car, man. Anyways, if anything, I think those results, you know, prompt another question. You know, I know, how much do 2 teeth in the rear sprocket really make a difference? And if so, how much? So I think I'm going to run more tests, just try to find out that answer. So based on this data alone, I think I'm going to need to run more tests. Well, at some point I'm going to get a same size sprocket in the rear, 47 tooth, a 47 tooth sprocket for both the Supermoto and my Enduro WRs, and then do like for like acceleration tests using the same sprocket sets. So anyways, it'll be a series of recordings, but I thought it'd be kind of geeky fun thing to do.